Ryan from E39 Source here with the 2000 M5. I pulled codes yesterday after several months without checking anything, and I did have one. Nothing else stored in any of the systems, but the E-Box fan code is there with a frequency counter of 10. So we're going to be looking into that today. I've never done it. I've heard it's kind of a pain. There's a bunch of sharp components in there or whatever. We're about to find out. But we're obviously under the hood right now. This is the passenger side cabin air filter box. And before you start anything with this, you want to make sure that you disconnect your battery. We are going to need to disconnect and remove the DME, which is kind of the electrical heart of the car and all of the computer systems. So be sure that you have your battery disconnected, nothing else plugged into the car. Maybe flip the headlights on and off twice just to drain any power that is residual in the lines. So to get to the DME box, we need to remove the cabin air filter box. It's pretty simple. There's a clip here. The lid pulls up and out like that. You can remove your filter as well. Good time to inspect this stuff, make sure it's clean. I haven't replaced these filters in years actually, but they're still very clean. This car's garaged and doesn't get out a whole lot. So we'll move those parts safely out of the way. And now we've got the actual box itself. So there's a clip down here at the bottom. Kind of depress the two tabs on the side like that and just slide it out. Get that out of the way. And then we've got a piece of weather stripping, pulls up and out of the way as well. Then the last thing that's holding this on are these three tabs on the piece of ductwork that takes that air into the firewall, into the HVAC system. Slide that out of the way, and then you're going to take the box up, wiggle it out towards the engine, and it removes very easily like that. Now we see the DME box lid. Mine has on here with Sharpie, it's been there ever since I've owned this car. It says, do not over tighten this bolt. Well, apparently these things are, I don't know, Allen heads, but then they go into a fixture that's glued into the plastic DME box. So if you over tighten them, then you break the fixture free in the box, and then the bolt just spins and you won't be able to remove it. So do be very careful with that. I'm going to grab the right tool. I'll let you know what size it is here in a moment. The magic socket is an H5. It's an Allen head 5mm. I'm going to use a 3/8 drive bit on a 3 or 4 inch 3/8 drive extension on a 3/8 drive ratchet. And looks like 3 of mine are that H5, and that is pretty tight. Looks like 3 of mine are an H5, and then the one in the back that says do not over tighten, that is something different. I'll have to move the tripod here to get a better look at it. Yeah, they're actually longer than I thought. Keep threading their machine bolts with kind of the self-tapping head on there. I'm going to get the camera out of the way to remove the other 3. Okay, well that totally sucked. So the edges of this box lid are indeed very sharp. So be careful. I actually put on some mechanics gloves, not rubber ones, but some real thicker gloves. This is the inside of it. It's this lip, if you try to get under and pull, will hurt you. So only one of these came out as it's supposed to. The other 3, so the bolt goes through this, and then there's a hole in the actual box, and then shoved in the hole is this kind of acceptor that's got some splines on the side of it. Well, that's not nearly enough to hold it in the box, so when you try to loosen it, the whole thing just spins. I was getting nowhere, so I got the electric drill, I put a chuck in, I put in a 5mm Allen bit, and I just put that thing on max for about 10 seconds. And I got a little bit of smoke from here as it burned the plastic and then released itself. And I had to do that on my bottom left and my top right. So now I'm gonna have to replace the hardware that goes in there, or just take this one off, put some vice grips on it, take the nut off of it, and then glue it back in there with something really strong. And do not over tighten these. It's not important that these are that tight. Anyways, now the lid is off, a lot harder than it should have been. But the drill was definitely a good solution there, if you don't mind burning up the plastic a little bit. So, looking in here, there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of wires, and I do not see any sort of a fan yet. Let's get a light, take another look, and I think I see it all the way at the bottom. Very conveniently located. So everything in here now has to come out and potentially be disconnected depending on how much wire we actually have. So I'm going to take a bunch of pictures of this so I know where everything goes in case there's any discrepancy there. Putting things in backwards, upside down, the wrong spot, omitting any plugs could have a real bad consequence on it if this thing even runs afterwards. So I'm going to see what we need to do here. I'll report back in a moment. So here's the DME. Be extremely careful with this. This is the Siemens DME MSS52. If this is a build date, this thing was made the 28th day of, is that an 8? August of 2002, so it's been replaced. I do remember something about this in my paperwork that I have for the car. So this is what it looks like. There's 5 connectors on top, with the exception of the outer 2. Those are identical. The inner 3, each one will only go in the right place. They're different sizes. So we're going to put this in a very dry and very safe location and go back to the box. This is just as much fun as everyone on the M5 Owners Group on Facebook promised that it would be. So I had the computer itself out, had everything disconnected. Then it sits inside of this DME box is a big black plastic bracket, and it kind of clips in all around the perimeter. All these different harnesses are in there. And at the very bottom of the box, you can see the fan. The electrical connection for the fan is this white one with 2 wires, a red, white, and a brown green. I can't tell on the light, but it's right there. So that's the electrical connector for the fan. If you were able to remove all of the wiring in here and the relays and get everything out of here and remove this black plastic bracket entirely, then you would have an empty DME box where you could somewhat easily reach down, access the fan. I see 2 gold brass-headed Phillips screws holding it in, plus the wiring harness, and then it looks like it connects into a hose. It probably just pulls out, maybe with a pinch clip. Then it would be fairly simple. So now that I've gotten my feet wet in this, I'm going to go ahead and order the part. That's right, I don't even have a part on hand, and I've gone this far. So when I get that in stock here, we'll revisit this and get this job done. And a quick note on those bolts that I couldn't get out. So I put some vice grips on the acceptor part, and then back the screw out of it, and then I've glued the 2 acceptor parts back into the box, and I'm going to let that sit for a while, let that glue dry. We don't need much torque on the bolts for the lid at all, and they're nice machine screws. So once you have those glued in and then just put them down hand tight, just make sure it's going to stay dry, and that'll be fine. A few days fast forward and we have a part. This one's the OE part supplier for BMW, that's Bosch. If you want to pay twice what this part costs, then buy the genuine BMW. You'll get the same thing, but this one's the Bosch. The part number for this guy's right here in blue. It's 12901438062. And a big thanks to FCP Euro for sponsoring the parts in this video. FCP Euro offers a lifetime warranty on everything that they sell. So in the event that when I'm 40 years old, 50 years old, and this part fails, I can take it out, send it back, and get another one free of charge. That's FCP Euro with the lifetime warranty. So here's the original fan, finally out of the car, done. The new one is in. So when I got the part, I decided to kind of use some resources I had and have my local shop do the actual part of this labor. So I'm kind of cheating here. However, should you choose to continue and do this yourself, we talked about disconnecting the DME and moving all of that, then this entire bracket needs to come out. I got a quick clip of that, which I'll insert here. And when you have that kind of out and out of the way, you're not going to be able to take it and put it on the ground. But with all of this stuff off, you're going to need to remove the relays. There's a tab on that. You depress the tab and pull up very carefully. Note that this plastic is rather old and brittle. We'll need to do the pink one, the brown one, the blue one, the seafoam green one, and then this white connector over here you'll need to disconnect and then remove the other end, the female end of that connector off of the bracket. The bracket kind of comes out of the way, and then you have your access. So the only things holding the e-box fan down there, I'll show you over here. The way it sits in there, kind of oriented like this, there is a little half moon shaped clamp that sits down on top of that. And then there's 2 gold Phillips head screws, and you're going to need a very long screwdriver, maybe 18 inches, or multiple extensions and a bit in a kind of socket situation. Remove those 2 screws, use a magnet to fish them out. Remove the old fan. We talked about before, it's plugged in right here. That's your electrical connector for the fan. So you'll disconnect that and wriggle the old fan out. Really, you're just going to be working through these slotted holes to gain access. That's the most difficult thing. Once you've got this lid off, then it's just releasing the bracket in here, unscrewing the screws, pulling the old fan out, putting the new one in, putting the half moon cover back on top, and then putting the screws back in. Go ahead and screw your lid back down. You do not need very much torque on those 5mm Allens at all. Just get them tight, make sure everything seals well. Then you're going to start by putting in the largest piece, just like we took it apart. It goes back together very easily. You kind of put it in at this angle, slide it down, and then pivot the part towards the center of the vehicle down. You're going to want to insert this piece into the firewall first. Put that in, clip it back on, put your gasket back on, your filter, your lid, and your clip, and we are now complete. All right guys, that's a wrap. Thanks again to FCP Euro. Be sure to check out fcpeuro.com to get that unlimited warranty on the parts you purchase from them. Thanks for watching this E39 source video, and we'll talk in the next one.